All right, quick note before we dive into the show. On this episode, we talk about a coaching program that I did not 1 year, but I did 2 years of it. It's a 1 year program, but I did it round two. Maybe I'm a slow learner, but we actually have a link. They're running this coaching program starting the beginning of January. It's regularly regularly $1,000. I've done it twice at $1,000. Right now, they're running a promotion where it's $700 off. We have that link. So you can do this coaching program for $300 next year. I highly suggest it considering I did it twice. So please use the link below in the show notes on our website if you guys are interested in doing this coaching program. Now on to the show.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all
Welcome back to the 3x5 Live
podcast.
Last week, we took off.
We did.
So we talked about nothing.
We didn't.
It was Thanksgiving Day.
It was. So we put into practice what we talked about the prior week, which was how to create some more meaningful dialogue and conversations and connection over the holidays.
Yes.
So without hearing our voices, maybe you were able to tap into some of that as well. But we're back this week.
We are indeed. And so this week, we're going to kind of talk about a little bit of the origin story of where 3x5 Life came from. I've spoken about it in the past, how it's been kind of like a 10-year journey for me, but there was like this spark, and this spark was created through this optimized coaching program that I went through in 2019.
We were both huge fans of this guy, Bryan Jessie, who is the creator of Optimize. And his journey was kind of a unique journey where he didn't start off being this modern day philosopher, but he kind of became this over time. He had owned, I think it was 2 different companies, and, you know, they were thriving, but had sold both of these companies, and then basically became like a monk for about 10 years. And part of what he was doing was trying to absorb as much knowledge as he possibly could. And then what he did with that knowledge was then he put it into these, like, it's like kind of like a Cliff Note version of every book that you could possibly think of on personal development. And
it's about 600 books.
It's like 600 books. So he would read these books on this website, which is now actually free to utilize. When we were like digesting it and absorbing it, it was about $100 a year just to participate in the content that he had created. Mm-hmm. Now he's offering it for free. So I've been sharing it with all my graduate students. There's these incredible, in my grad work that I do my online classes, I'll use his workbooks, which will take you through these different things like purpose. He has one on productivity. He has one on habits.
They're like one-on-one classes.
Yeah, he calls it like a one-on-one class. So it's free content that I really think he does a beautiful job of taking really big topics and putting them into these bite-sized chunks that allow you to kind of digest it in a really awesome way. So he's had a huge impact on what I do and how I present myself to my students, and even just like that thirst of knowledge and trying to absorb it, but having like a pretty little package where you can just like do it in a very manageable time frame.
Yeah, it's like ancient wisdom meets modern science. So Aristotle to Martin Seligman. Mm-hmm. So that's really what it is. And so it's a year, the coaching program at least is a year-long program. And it really dials in the fundamentals. It really dials into creating purpose in your life. I mean, he talks about eating, moving, sleeping, purpose, and all these topics that really create a well-adjusted human. Mm-hmm. He always does the quote, it's no measure of health to be well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And when I heard that, that really hit home to me. And he really looks at what the ancient philosophers did and what they were trying to teach the Stoics and, you know, that whole era. And he's then looking at the modern science like flourish, which Martin Seligman wrote from the University of Penn, and combining all these wisdoms of being in monk mode, like Jesse said, for 10 years, and really distills them into digestible information that's really practical. And I got so much out of the coaching program. It's a year-long coaching program that I did it a second year. And we wanted to bring this up too, because he's starting a new coaching program on January 2nd or 3rd, I think it starts. So he's discounted that like incredibly. I think it's usually $1,000. I think it's $300 right now. We'll have links in the show notes if you guys wanted to check that out or are interested in doing this coaching program. But through this, it's interesting because about 50% of the people that go through the coaching program are actually trying to become coaches. And the other 50% are just really trying to bridge the gap of who they are to who they're capable of being.
And I think just to differentiate from what I was talking about, in case you're a little bit confused, I was talking about the free content that you can interact with, anybody can. And so that's a lot of like theory and a lot of ideas and a lot of information. But I think what was so beautiful about the coaching was it takes you from that theory to practice to mastery.
Yes.
And that was the focus of the coaching program. So like if you start to interact with this and you're looking for some more guidance, some more feedback, some more interaction with like a community, then the coaching piece is an invaluable resource because it actually helps guide you from just absorbing information to then putting it into practice.
Right, exactly. But what I was saying is like 50% of the people going through coaching have no intention of being coaches.
Right.
You know, they're just trying they're just trying to better themselves. And his whole philosophy is this philosophy of arete, which is really becoming your best self moment to moment to moment, which is what we're all trying to achieve. But the only way you're going to do that is if you really get your fundamentals dialed in. And that's what he teaches on in this program. So.
And I like that distinction of like not becoming a coach. When I went through my health coaching program, I didn't know what I was going to do with it either, but it's insane the amount of doors that just going through that health coaching certification through Institute of Integrative Nutrition has opened for me because it gave me knowledge and information that then it's like what you don't know, you don't know. And once you open your eyes to new information and a way of acting, you're going to start by implementing it for yourself. Like all the information I was absorbing from that and same with you were doing it for yourself. But then what ends up happening is when you become in alignment to your best version of self, it naturally pours out into others. So I was cooking better for our family and I was making decisions for our family that would benefit all of them. And then my students and then the teachers in my community. And then, so it's this natural development that happens when you become your best self, that then you have that ability to contribute that to others and kind of share that gift. And I think you found that in this coaching program. We had so many awesome conversations and things that we've implemented and changed with our own family. And then that was where 3x5 Life came from. We wanted to do that for other people. We wanted people to put fundamentals into place that allowed them to thrive and become their best versions of self. And so that when you say origin story, that was one of the things in the back of our brain. How do we help and create something that other people could utilize that helps them feel as good as we were feeling?
Yeah, exactly. And it's really interesting how I was going through a self-development for the last 10 years, but how much the way he gives across that information, how amazing it is and how impactful it is. Just the way he, like all his workbooks that come with every class, it's almost like this like beautiful piece of art that's like hand drawn almost. And they have like little diagrams to walk you through the process. And I just can't speak highly enough about it, how much it's fundamentally changed my life. There's so much noise out there in the personal development space. And I think there's so much bad information out there and many hacks and shortcuts. And Bryan Johnson is so true through and through with what he's trying to, portray in this program that we just wanted to put it out there as something that we would encourage people to do, get the free content or even sign up for the coaching program in January.
And if you have any questions for us about it or just need help navigating the site or whatever, always know that you can reach out to us.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy to answer any questions or.
Yeah. Our email's on the website. So if you want to email me personally and ask, certain questions about the program, feel free to. But we just wanted to share that to the community. So. Yeah. All right. Well, have a fantastic week.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all